Today on Happiest Camper, we show you how to make this crossbody water bottle holder. This cute water bottle holder is perfect for carrying some hydration with you on a walk or a hike. It's great for kids too. Let's get started. Start by cutting your fabrics and fusible fleece to the sizes needed. Lay each piece of the fleece on your ironing board with the rough side facing up. Then, lay the outer fabric piece on top, right side up. Press your iron straight down onto the fabric for about 15 seconds. Flip each piece over and check to make sure the edges are sticking down well. If you find any pieces that are still pulling up, press those places again until the fleece is secure. While you still have the iron out, this is a good time to iron the crease in your binding. Just fold each piece in half, the long way, and press the one fold. Set these off to the side. Now it's time to start sewing. Grab the lining pieces for the top and bottom of your water bottle holder and line one up with each fused outer piece. You'll want to be able to see the fleece at this point. Mark about 1/2 of an inch allowance around the fleece and cut all 4 pieces into circles. Next, lay both sets of circles together with right sides facing out. Pin or use sewing clips to hold in place and then sew around both pieces, leaving a 1/4 inch seam allowance. As an optional step, if you're not comfortable with sewing circles, is to take a moment there to clip 4 notches into the edge of each finished top and bottom. This will help you make sure everything is lined up later when you're attaching it to the rest of the project. Just fold each one in half and make a short cut at each fold. Make sure not to hit the thread. Then, fold it in half the other way so that those 2 cuts match up, and cut in the new folds. Next, it's time to start putting together the body of the bag. We'll start by sewing the top and bottom panels to the zipper. Line up the inner and outer panel, right sides together, with the zipper sandwiched in between. Sew a straight line as close to the zipper as you can. If you have a zipper foot, you can use that, but if you can, still do this with your regular presser foot. Just move the needle as far as you can to the left and line up the fabric so the zipper teeth are just to the left of that. Trim your threads and open up the fabric so that the wrong sides are together and the zipper is now sticking out at the seam. Sew another line straight down the zipper and both pieces of fabric to keep them flat and in place. You should now have a larger rectangle with a zipper near the top. Next, attach the back panel using the same method. Only instead of having a zipper sandwiched in between the outer fabric and the lining, it will be the long side of the piece we just finished putting together. We are about halfway through this sewing tutorial. If you are enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like button. Now it's time to create the tube shape by sewing both sides together. We have to fold back the lining and sew just the outer fabric. Then lay the lining back down with the raw edge tucked in and sew over it again. And then all that's left is to attach the top and bottom and straps. Next, with the project still inside out, pin the top and bottom circles into place. Now you can sew the top and bottom into place with the smallest seam allowance you can manage. Pin or clip the binding strips in place around the top and bottom. The raw edges of the binding should match up with the raw edges of the tube. There will be some overlap on the edges of the binding. No need to sew them together, just trim down at an angle so there is only about a 1/2 inch overlap. Sew both binding strips in place with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Next, flip the folded side of the binding over the raw edges and sew in place. Now you can flip the whole thing right side out. All that's left now is to sew on the straps. If you purchased the kind of webbing that unravels unless you seal the end, Do that now, either with some kind of clear glue or polish, or by melting the edges with a lighter. Now, with the zipper open, pin the ends of the strap in place on each side of the back panel, around the same height as the zipper. Sew a rectangle over the bottom inch or so of the webbing, with diagonal lines across to help secure it. Be careful not to hit the front of the tube with your needle as you're sewing. Then, just trim any leftover threads and you're all done. Now you have a lovely water bottle holder that makes a very practical gift for any outdoorsy person on your list. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on our latest sewing content. Thanks for watching.